Hunk is the fourth produced episode of Season 2 of The Critic, first broadcasted on April 2nd, 1995, written by Steve Tompkins, directed by Stephen Dean Moore. And in this episode, Jay and Marty go to a weight loss camp where Marty dramatically loses weight and becomes one of the most popular kids in school. Meanwhile, Jay loses 2 pounds, which is apparently good enough for him and his bosses because Duke is literally telling him that you need to lose weight. He comes back and he's 2 pounds lighter and it's just like, that's perfectly fine. Everything's good to go there. But at the same time, Jay fears for his life when a pretty boy action star, basically a caricature of Jean-Claude Van Damme, Jean-Paul Le Pope, threatens to kill him. I love how the first 4 minutes of this particular episode features 3 similar but equally hilarious jokes, all revolving around the ideas of breaking through the floors. Because it starts off with Jay talking about this movie that they're talking about called It's Abe Lincoln Pet Detective, which is a parody of Ace Ventura Pet Detective, and there's a scene in there where Abe Lincoln is talking with his butt, and Jay's just like, you'll never see me stoop to anything so low, and as soon as he tries to sit down in his chair, he accidentally breaks through the floor. And then shortly after that, there's a joke with Rush Limbaugh, literally going through the floors, and Jay and Rush are just like, Jay's just like, hey Rush, I'll chase you down to the bottom of this building. And it's just like, and Rush is just like, I'll accept your challenge, you liberal cream puff. And they just keep going down, they just keep breaking the floors down. And then not but too long after that, there's another joke involving Bill Clinton, talking about it's a physical fitness day at Marty's school, and Bill's talking about how, physical fitness is so important, and then one of his pages comes in and says, here's your lunch, sir, and he's got like McDonald's and all that, because that was the joke back then. Like, Bill Clinton ate a lot of McDonald's, ate a lot of fast food, and he's just talking, just like, with his food stuff in his mouth, like, physical fitness is, and as he's talking, the floor collapses on him too. It's just like, I don't know why they were so connected there, but it was just, that was in the first 4 minutes of this episode alone, and it works very well. It's absolutely hilarious, all equally hilarious, and the episode itself is mostly hilarious. Like I said, great parodies of Ace Ventura. There's a great parody of Speed Reading, which is another. You got The Exorcist, like Jay and Marty go to the weight loss camp, and then right across is the exorcism camp, and you see all these kids that are possessed by the devil, and they're just like, when they go on their hikes, the priest is right behind them going, sound off, and the kids are like turning their heads like Linda Blair in The Exorcist, and it's just a ton of great jokes there. I will say that the subplot of this episode, with Jay being threatened by Jean-Paul Le Pope, feels kind of pointless, and even the payoff at the end really doesn't fit the overall feel of that specific subplot. It just feels kind of pointless. It felt like something like, hey, we need to fill this to get to the 22-minute limit somehow, so let's have this storyline in here. It really does feel like a forced subplot that doesn't have anything else to do with the episode, and it's pretty much already done within about 5-10 minutes. I mean, it's barely in the episode for more than 5 minutes, and in the end, it's a real waste of time when you really think about it. But the main plot with Marty basically figuring out that he's now one of the most popular kids in school because he looks muscular. He looks like he doesn't look like the fat kid anymore, and like everyone's telling him, stay this way. Do not go back the other way. And like I love how when he comes back and the kids are just like, the bullies are just like, hey Sherman, we're gonna beat you up, and Marty's just like, but I'm not ugly anymore, the bullies are just like, well, we're still going to beat you up. And one of the guys is just like, no, that is not our way. We only beat up those that are much different than us. And then all of a sudden, this kid who literally has the voice of it's Russi Taylor doing the voice of Martin pretty much, just like, say, do you boys happen to have any Vicks Vapor Rub? I have a cold upon my chest. And then they go after him. It's just like, stop, you're soiling my dicky. Like it's really funny stuff. And I do like how the ending, I don't know if this episode came before or after the Peter Pan Goes Wrong play was put out. Let me see. I want to check here. I'm curious. I'm literally going to do this as I'm recording this. Now, this is like 20 years before that, but I swear Peter Pan Goes Wrong took inspiration from the ending of this episode, because it's literally the equivalent to watching Peter Pan Goes Wrong. It's like unfortunately, Marty gives into his temptations. He eats like a thing of ice cream because he goes past an ice cream shop, and they're just like, oh no, our freezers are completely melted. We need somebody to eat like 50 pounds of, like, not 50 pounds, but a whole bunch of ice cream. And then Marty goes in there, it's just like, it's Jay Sherman's kid, we're saved. And then the next scene is them doing the play of Peter Pan with Marty back to his his fat self, and it's just like it's so funny, man. Like, this entire episode really is funny. If that second subplot had been much more engaging and much more interesting and didn't just feel like a filler thing, this would have been probably another fantastic episode. But as it is, it's a good episode, not a great one. I say watch it just for the main plot, and then you can skip past the subplot in this episode. It's probably for the best.
Excuse me, sir? The show's over.
But I have nowhere to go.